So today we thought it would be a great idea to give you a sense of who we are and where we came from. So today we're going to be talking about the sickest origin story ever.
Oh yeah, it's definitely gonna be sickest.
Hell
And I
yeah.
must say, it's not just today we thought about this. We knew that this was coming for a while. We owe it to you guys, whether you've been listening to us before or not. We definitely have to tell you where we came from and who we are. So here it is. And I must say, it is definitely the sickest origin story ever. Welcome to the Sick Podcast.
Hey, I'm Sunny.
I'm Araz,
And I'm Chris.
and we are gonna beat this shit to death. All right, let's go.
Let's beat a dead horse.
I'm looking forward to getting into one of the first questions we asked each other.
Oh my god, yeah, we spent a while on that. All right, yeah. Wait, sorry. Let's start. When did we meet?
It's back in the good old days. Freshman year of college.
Freshman year of
Second
college?
semester.
Second semester. Yeah, I think that I met Sunny first. And
Yep.
then I met Araz following that.
Yeah, no, that's definitely sure. Because when I met you, you already knew. Actually, I knew Sunny before. So Sunny and Razme, another guy we had on the podcast before, great. They were best friends in high school, and I met them in high school, freshman year, and I knew them for 2 years. I only knew Sunny kind of like as a mutual friend, really. Knew
Acquaintances.
knew him as a goofball, but I feel like that's all I really needed to know about him. Yeah, so that was a good 2 years. I moved away, went to a different high school for a while, came here to this college, and all of a sudden, at orientation, I saw Razme and Sunny,
Yep.
and they saw me. And here's the thing, like, I changed drastically. I was a chubby kid with no muscle freshman and sophomore year. I played tennis, and that was my only athleticism ever. That's it. I moved junior and senior high school, did what every wannabe dude does and works out. Come back, I look different. I grew a beard. I see Sunny and Razme, and I'm like, all right, I recognize them. I remember their names, and they look very similar from before. So I approach them, and I'm really worried that I'm going to get one of those, hey, responses.
Mhm.
But nah, they remember my name. They remembered me, even though I look different. I'm like, damn, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was hella fun.
I actually don't think I've ever heard that before. I don't think I've ever heard that story.
Okay, so that story we haven't told anyone because, I mean,
Oh, wow.
not because it's not important or anything, because there was never a need to, really.
Well,
Yeah.
It's just kind of, that's how me,
Heard it here first, boys.
oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, but that's how we first re-met, really. We
Yeah.
met in high school. I knew them. They were great friends, played cards together, played tennis together.
Mm-hmm.
Then come college, boom, see them at orientation. Then I don't see them again. And then I guess it's what you said, Chris. And then we met, what you said, Sonny. We met second semester
Yeah.
as freshmen in college.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, so that was a long lag period, actually. That was a couple months then that you didn't see them.
Yeah, so me being myself, I always spend times in libraries and reading books. So actually, if I wasn't in class, I'd just go to this library and I would simply read or play my games by myself. I was a loser.
Until we finally got Araz to talk to the group, and that's where he met Chris.
Oh yeah, so the group, how I met them actually was super interesting too. Like, the main building where I hang out on campus, I was on the second floor of the library, so it's inside. And turns out you guys used to hang out outside, but in the building, just
Yeah,
not
I
a
think-
library.
I think maybe at
On the
that point
second
in time
floor.
it was on the second floor, yeah.
Yeah, it was the second floor. And I know this for a fact because one time, I remember
Why the
I had
fuck did we
class.
go up?
I had class with Sunny and one of my other friends, accidentally, really, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just an IT class, and we just had it together, and I was so surprised to see them. And one time we had to study for a project or do something. I forgot what it was, so Sunny was like, yo, we're over here. Come join us. Let's work on it. So I come there, and there's a huge group of people.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of people. And Chris is one of them. And most of y'all are sitting down, just chilling. And by huge group, I mean like 10 people. I mean, I wasn't that extroverted then. So I start saying hi to people, right? Sunny, being the nice, great person he is, introduced me to everyone. He says everyone's names. Everyone's like, hi. Everyone's polite. And everyone's Asian, except for Chris. And so I say hi to Chris. He's like, hi, I'm Chris. And I was like, hi, I'm Araz. And it's so awkward. Like, everyone else is like being polite, but like, I don't know. I thought Chris hated me or just didn't like me. And I'm like, why? What did I do to you?
The thing is, I'm just like very shy by nature. Like, it's hard for me to like open up to people sometimes, and it's not like it was anything against you. It's just that's just how I am.
And yeah, we talked about that later. Is like apparently I was the same to everyone else. Like I was super like haughty and like HAUGHTY.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Like I come off as cold unless I prime my brain for
I'm gonna meet
some
this
new-
guy.
Yeah,
I'm
like,
gonna be nice.
if
Now
I
feel
mentally
like-
prep myself, I can meet somebody and usually handle myself pretty well. Like that's why I do well in like interviews, and I'm actually like pretty good at talking to like adult type people. But if I'm just like meeting someone new that's around our age and I don't know you, or it's pretty awkward because especially like if it's unexpected like it was.
Okay, yeah. So I thought he just disliked me for some reason. So next few days, weeks could go by, and now instead of going to the library to hang out, I'm hanging out with you guys. So that's basically how I met the group and how I met you guys. That's although I knew Sunny from before, that's also kind of why when we start hanging out. But yeah, there was a hiccup. It's not that I didn't like Chris. It's just that I just thought he didn't like me, so I immediately was like, all right, I'm just gonna be super, what's that word? Politically correct with them. I'm gonna be like, all right. I'm gonna be like, hi, hello, and that's about it.
We had like a reserved relationship.
Yeah,
and honestly,
I think the issue was if any one of us decided to go to the other and take care of it, we could have. But I was very similar to I had a similar demeanor as he was like. I didn't want to open up. I only opened up to Sunny and Raspberry because like, oh, previous friends, we used to hang out with each other. So
Right.
so we clicked fast.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's funny, like we're the total opposite now. I mean, like you
yeah.
put the two of us in a room together, we won't
No,
shut
but-
up. So
yeah, that's absolutely true.
Yeah.
So that's how I met the guys in the group and you guys for like how we are now.
Yeah.
What about you guys? How did you guys meet the group or whatever?
so
Oh, you want to go first,
I
Chris?
want Chris to go first. 'Cause I already know Sunny's story. He was the center part of the group the whole time. I feel.
well,
like.
that's why I want to explain it, because I think that if I tell my experience, it'll just naturally build into Sunny's.
Yeah.
So,
All right, let's go for yours, Chris.
essentially, like when I first got to college, I also met someone from the group at orientation. So I
Oh,
was
for real?
going,
Nice.
I was going for econ advising, going to see my advisor for the first time, and I saw one of our,
Mutual friends.
like a future friend.
Oh.
Like I didn't know this person at first, but I was in the advising, and I was really determined to make a friend. So I was already like mentally primed, and I was trying to be like super friendly, and
You
because
were way ahead of me. I was in the library just playing games.
no, like I knew if I didn't do this right now, I would really struggle in the future. So I was like, okay, I have to get over this, put myself out there, make a friend, and then expand on that. So that's what I did. I said hi to this girl because she just looked nice, I don't know, and she was just happened to be there in the room too. So I was like, okay, maybe I can form some kind of friendship with this person because we're both going to be econ majors, and maybe we'll find some commonalities down the road, right? So I end up talking to her, and she thinks I'm a total creep, and she lets me know it later.
Do you want to be my friend?
And it was like, I think that it's because she like later explained to me that I really think it's because she's this small Asian girl, and I'm a relatively tall white dude, and so maybe it was like a weird kind of this guy like hitting on me.
Yeah, maybe it was a natural way. Oh,
Yeah.
is he coming on to me?
That's totally not my intention at all.
Oh, yeah,
I really just wanted to be friends.
Oh yeah, but I mean, I guess that's a fair.
But that's how it's
assumption.
perceived, yeah.
Yeah, it's a fair assumption.
And so I hung out with her a little bit during the orientation, and then I didn't see her again for like another week or something. And then I saw her again on the way to like some social event thing, and I was like, oh, what's up? You're the girl, whatever. And so we started hanging out, and she was like, okay, this guy's not a creep, actually. He's pretty cool.
All right.
So
all
I'll
right.
introduce him to my friends, and then whatever. So that's how I met Sunny, was through her. And then I was just hanging out with those guys ever since then. And then, one
And
day they bring you to the table.
I popped up randomly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was super surprised it already was a big group. And I will say something you mentioned really interesting. I'm actually impressed at your ability to be like, yo, I need to make a friend, and then I'm gonna build on that. Like, I wasn't thinking that. I got super lucky. Let's be honest. It's not that I made friends. I only made friends because I was already friends with Sunny
Right.
and Raspberry. I already had like some past relationship. Yo, I could have fucked up my entire college experience.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot imagine life without you guys.
Yeah, honestly, same. I came into it knowing one of my really good friends from high school, just like, you guys kind of did, or at least Sonny did for sure. But I knew that if I didn't take it upon myself to find more people to kind of branch out and stuff like that, I would be kind of alone because obviously, things change. But, we're fortunate enough to actually have integrated my friends with Sonny's friends, and then you came along, and so it's just been this friend group that's been growing and growing all the time, and it's just been really, we've been really fortunate.
And we're super, like, inclusive, too. Like, we're not cliquey, we're not dicks to anyone.
Yeah, I mean...
Like, sometimes we hear stories about dramas, that, from other friends at other universities, college dorming or organization. Like, just people have issues all the time, and I'm like, man, I'm glad that we are the way we are.
Yeah, we've just got a really strong, healthy bond.
I hit the jackpot when it came to friends. Like, I must say.
Same, yeah.
I'm not saying we don't have faults. Everyone has faults, but it's just, I don't know. I'm really proud to have met you guys.
Yeah, sure. I'm glad I met you both too. But starting with my origins, going into college, I was scared. Since I was scared, I wasn't gonna make any friends. So I had Razme with me. So I just had some backup and security and won't be alone in college.
You say some, but that's right there. That's enough. I feel like that friendship is good enough.
Yeah, that's a solid friend. Yep.
Yeah, that's solid.
So I knew Razme was gonna be there with me the whole ride, and it was during orientation where I met Araz.
Yep.
That one day. I think we're going somewhere to eat. I think we're going to Burger King that day, at the food court.
Oh yeah.
And then we met him.
Rest in peace, Burger King.
And then we met some other friends from high school as well who also went to George Mason. But after that, it was usually just me and Razme. And just going through it. See, like Chris, during like orientation, my goal was to make... So what happened was me and Razme were split.
Oh, man.
So we were split up.
Yeah.
And so I was on my own. Me being the extrovert that I am, I usually make friends pretty easily. So I just talked. So whenever we went to like the group lunch thing going on, so Razmi told his experience with his group is that no one talked in his group. So like I think they talked like a bit, but they didn't really talk.
All right, yeah.
So and then when it came to my group, I already made like 3 friends.
Sonny just walks around and attracts people.
Yeah, I already made some connections with people, and after that, just continue on. Me and Razmi finally made a friend that we finally connected with during our second day. And she was a good friend of ours. And then, like as the days goes by, we finally met Pinita again. And
that's her.
Yep.
That was the girl I was talking about.
Yeah. Wait. Yeah, we went to high school with her, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, she was in the high school too. Yeah.
Yeah. So we met. That's our mutual friend, me and Chris's. So she goes over she was always telling us that she always had a group of friends, and she always go hang out with them. So me and Razme, we had our group of friends, which is much smaller than our group of friends right now. And basically, one day, Pinita told us to go study upstairs on the 3rd floor. And we're there, we gather around a table, we're all studying, or quote-unquote studying, until, one of us, broke out some cards and we started playing this one game where we basically... I forgot. It was like president, vice president, middle class.
Capitalism.
Capitalism,
yes,
yeah.
Capitalism. And I was basically trash talking one of Chris's friends a lot.
Which one was it?
Huh?
Was it
Stephanie?
Yes. Yeah.
I was trash talking her. I was calling her garbage.
Sonny, stuff like that. That's a great way to make a new friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. It panned out pretty well.
Yeah. So I was just abusing her throughout the whole game. And I saw Chris, he looked like a nice guy. He was a really nice guy. I don't know when we started talking, but I think I just sat right next to him and we just, I don't know, something just happened where I just opened up Chris.
like
literally opened up.
Spread.
I literally opened up Chris and we started talking, and then we realized, dang, we should be together. We should be friends.
So we've been married for 3 years.
And that's how I met Chris.
Yeah, thank God for Sonny though, because I suck at opening up myself. So it's good he could like coax me into a conversation or something like that, because I suck honestly, like at that sort of thing. So Sonny's really good for that.
Yeah, we joke about Sonny just going anywhere and being friends with anyone, but that's
dead ass how it is.
That's exactly how it is, and maybe the reason I note it is because Chris, you and I are a little different. Mm-hmm. It's harder for me, actually.
We're different, but we're similar. Yeah.
Yeah. So weird thing. Now I feel like I'm so much more extroverted. It's only been like it's been a good 3 or 4 years, but now I can go into a room of unfamiliar people and say whatever I want if I know it's gonna piss somebody off, or if I know it's gonna surprise someone or trigger someone. Not necessarily make them actually angry, but definitely say something that's unexpected.
You're just messing with them, yeah.
Yeah, I just mess with them. I don't know why, but
just for the goofs.
Yeah, probably it's because from hanging out with you guys. Yeah. Like one of the things I like doing now is someone asks me a question, I will answer them if it's a yes or no question. I'll answer truthfully, but my head movement will do the opposite. Or like I'll say yes but shake my head. I'll say no but nod my head. But I always tell them afterwards, the true answer is what I tell you. The head movement is just to throw you off. I do it just to see the reaction. I got pretty good at it too.
So how did me and you become closer, Russ?
So for me and you, that definitely took a while.
That took a while.
See,
yeah.
I loved it when Sonny said, so, he thought that was a nice guy. So I sat beside him, opened him up, and we were good. Sometimes
it was so quick, man. It was so quick.
And then they got married. Nah. Okay, but yeah.
Chris hasn't bought me a ring yet, but we're getting there.
Well, I mean, so I was saying, like, you guys opened up super quickly to each other, and Sonny was already cool with everybody. Like, even if I wasn't friends, or if I wasn't, whatever, friends with him in high school, but I met him, just knowing him, I feel like he would reach out to me.
Mm-hmm. Like, it's just, I think so too.
Yeah.
I think Araz and we probably bonded over our mutual love of like board games.
So
card games.
That's pretty much our group.
Yeah, I mean.
So what was our group like? Why are we a friend group? We weren't the ones to go like partying and drinking or anything. Nah, we.
No, yeah, we
would spend our free time between classes, on campus, whatever. Sometimes everyone was there. Sometimes it's people filter in and out because classes, work, whatever. And there was always a deck of cards. Sometimes a random board game. We came to realize that Sonny has a large collection of party board games and like group board games because he loves playing with his friends. And so he would sometimes do some research online, buy a board game, bring it to his friend group, and he's like, guys, want to try this out? I feel like you'd like it. And most of the time we do. So kudos to you, Sonny. Thanks for great experiences. But yeah, that's what we did as a group. We just played games, and that's how I got to know everybody a little better. Me and Chris went from guarded acquaintance to like, I won't say like close friends, but definitely we were
friends.
Yeah, we were tight.
We got to be friends. Yeah,
we got to be friends, definitely.
And that was what. So if we met freshman year,
it was like the end of freshman year, and
by the time we became probably like friends, like actually friends, was probably more like sophomore
year-ish. Oh wait, there was almost like an event that I can remember. So do you remember Banchan? Okay, so
well, which one?
Okay, all right. You know what? That's true. We eat there way too much. Okay.
They know us there.
All right, so it was when we finally started getting like political in our debates a little bit. Chris, one of your friends, one of your international friends came in. He's like an international affairs or a global affairs student.
He's straight out of China. He studied at a university kind of nearby to us, and we met somehow, some way.
So yeah, you brought him, and then it was me and Sonny. It was literally the three of us and then him, and he brought
it. It was, wasn't it?
And honestly, it was our. I'm gonna attribute this entire conversation to our college careers, in that.
Yeah.
Economics for you, Chris. I'm a criminal justice student, and this guy was global or / international affairs. So when it came to like politics or stuff, we all had very different takes. Not as in we were aligned politically different, but no, we just had different like lenses. For me, it was like, all right, as a cop, how would I feel about this? For you, he's like, all right,
as an economist,
and for him,
he's just got his own ideas.
Yo, we need to get him on the pod, dude. He's interesting.
I've been trying.
I want to meet him again. I want to meet your friend again, Chris. But yeah.
Well, stay tuned for that because it'll be great, and we'll reference this one, I'm sure. But
Oh yeah.
But so basically, what happened is the four of us sat down to eat banchan together, and
It
we
was just
naturally
supposed-
just picked up this conversation that went to such a level of depth that I had never anticipated having, and it was just such a natural fit for us too.
Oh yeah, no, it wasn't just depth because yeah, we took the topic and went into depth, but the topic itself was so broad. We literally started talking about not politics, but just kind of like hierarchical things in general, like how should a government, or how would I feel if
It was like brainstorming ideas and new products and stuff like that, like different algorithm. Like I remember one thing in particular was like an algorithm to predict what kind of illness you have. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, okay, so that was Chris. That was actually specifically your idea for like
Yeah.
a future company or something that you'd make. And we talked about it, and later we figured out there's already like some, not so it wasn't a complete
Can't say I'm surprised because it's such an obvious like
Yeah, but
when you think of it, you're like, oh, of course.
But given that none of us have a background in bioinformatics,
yeah,
that was like an eye-opening conversation for me. Like, yeah, we should have a system that not only stores all this data, but kind of predicts it. Obviously, we can't make assumptions based on that data because it is in the future and stuff. But at the same time, it could be helpful. Like, given a certain ancestry or given a certain this or that, what are your chances of having some sort of disease or being immune to something, so we can make use of
I
that.
didn't realize it then, but that was probably the first time I had ever thought really about kind of what my future profession would be. Like I'm actually a data scientist at a consulting firm now, and I do that kind of work kind of regularly now. Like I do different forecasting models and I do different machine learning algorithms for different shit. But that's essentially like, I don't know, like it kind of set me on a path. So that's another like aspect of my own origin, I guess. I don't know. I never realized it until now.
Oh yeah, no, and actually so Sunny introduced D&D to Dungeons and Dragons, which I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard about, but I've never actually played it. Chris has never actually played it. Sunny has the game, but I'm not sure you had many opportunities to play with anyone because no one would play, right?
Yeah.
So finally we decided to make characters. Literally, I made mine just 2 days ago. And Chris, one of the first things you said was like, I wonder if I could make an algorithm, a program to factor in all the statistics of each character, our party in general, the rolls of the dice and stuff.
I wanted to see if I could make a way to automate the process. So if you define a function or something like that to like automatically roll a dice for you, which would be really simple, and then you take another set of dice and then roll for like the attack and then the bonuses to that stuff.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it would be very simple and like automate the process.
So it's like building that program might be tedious. The idea is fairly simplistic. So I was like, hey, maybe there's something already out there. And then Chris' answer was, no, this is not necessarily so we have to use it. It's more, I want to try.
Yeah, it's just like something fun for me to do.
And I'm like,
It's
yeah.
like a side project.
So yeah, definitely. Career-wise, you definitely, I guess, went somewhere where you wanted, or something that fit your skill set, or at least your interest.
Yeah, because we talk about this a lot. Like, what can we create together? And that kind of is a perfect segue into like, well, why did we decide to do a podcast anyway? Right?
Actually, the podcast was not only just one of our random, hey, what can we create together? This was a product upon a product upon a product. It was like literally everything lined up for this. So, Banchan, that one time we talked, kind of almost unlocked a new level of friendship between me and Chris. Because I remember.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, we were so much more comfortable after that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, actually, I remember something very interesting is this is before you learned it a little later. But I told you that the optimal rate of crime in an ideal world isn't 0.
Right, it's not 0. Yeah.
It's you need crime because but my reasoning was way different from your reasoning.
We both came to the table with the exact same conclusion, but for very different reasons.
Very different reasons. So at first, so for me, I remember we had to leave the Banchan and go to the store next door because we were loitering pretty much because we were talking so long. We talked there.
I told him.
Sunny was there. He wanted us to leave because we were loitering. He was cool with hanging out, but he was silent for a lot of it because he's like listening to our ideas and shit. He's like, man, they're going off.
Yeah.
Popping off over
Usually
here.
when it comes to this kind of discussions, I'm not usually the guy to talk about this kind of stuff. But when these two ever go off, I'll just be there. So for our future guest that's coming in, it's gonna be interesting to hear all their opinions. Well, me on the other side, on the sideline, I'm probably just gonna be listening.
Sonny's gonna be joining you guys and listening to us.
Yes.
We never intend for it to go that way, but that's usually how it goes.
Yeah, it's.
We just get kind of
Let me
absorbed.
apologize in advance and for the past, like for any time we maybe didn't include you in like a conversation like that, but it's not because of your lack of whatever. It's just because me and Chris, I don't know why, we just argue and we disagree so
Yeah.
easily.
Well, but the
we're
cool thing,
we're so okay with it.
yeah, that's the cool thing. Like, to me, a conversation with the Roz it's like a game. It's almost like a game.
Oh my God, yes.
And that's why, because I
don't-
like to play games, I like to strategize. And when I'm talking to a Roz, because he plays devil's advocate so much, it forces you to expand on your ideas.
Oh yeah. Oh, so yeah, definitely. Let me just make it clear. It's not always like our ideas come head to head. Sometimes I'll end up agreeing with him. Sometimes I'm not even fully formed on my opinion. I'm neither for or against. But every time Chris says something, I will say, "Well, what if this?" I tried doing my best to rip his paper apart so that he gets a stronger like he solidifies his argument. It's like a game to me too.
That's what makes it
But
kind
for
of fun.
me-
Because we both are just like game junkies. So
Oh, yeah.
it's kind of just fun.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And I love winning. So
I just love like strategizing and stuff. Because like if it's a topic I'm passionate about, I will talk about it all day long. And
Yeah.
usually it is.
yes.
They will do that.
So yeah, like if I have an objective, I like to win. But when I'm playing devil's advocate, the objective is the role. All I'm doing is playing devil's advocate, and I love playing that role.
Yeah, and I love playing into it because I'm a sucker.
Sometimes I just want to go home.
I will say though, it has caused a couple of hiccups in like when I first started getting to know you guys and our other friends. I have known times a few, but unknown times probably more. I have ticked off and probably alienated or otherwise made someone else feel uncomfortable because I would argue with them for absolutely no reason.
He's not talking about me or Sonny. He's talking about other people in our group.
Yeah, just people in general. Not in general, but sometimes I have our friends. Yeah, it's like I'm not even smarter than them, but I feel like I'm flexing smarts on them, and they're like, "Fuck off, you're not smarter than me." But I'm like, "Yes, I am." It's kind of like that.
Well, it's just because you like to, I don't know, you like to push buttons. And that's why you like to talk to me, because I'll take it.
But you're not a little bitch. You'll come back.
No, I definitely come back, like, full force. But that's what makes it fun for me, too. So
He's like, you think this hurts? Wait for the...
that's just our dynamic now. Like, it really was like
we're
a crazy kind of progression.
Yeah,
in our
we're like a
friendship.
verbal anime fight.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah.
Good way to put it.
So enough
Where the
of...
McDonald's conversations come in.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Enough of Banchan. That was just when me and Chris finally hit that point where we could talk about certain things.
Finally, me, Iraz, and Sunny were all like good friends on like a level playing field.
Yeah, and how long was this ago? Like maybe 1.5 year, 1
Yeah,
year?
it wasn't
Yeah.
even like that long ago.
Maybe 2 semesters, maybe 3 semesters, whatever. I don't know. For some reason, it was on a Monday. Our schedules aligned such that around 10 o'clock.
10
my
o'clock,
my
yeah.
class ended at 10. Oh wow, it sucked.
Yeah, it was rough. Mine ended at 10 too.
Sonny's didn't. Yours ended a little earlier.
Like
Yeah.
8:30, right?
Like
Yeah.
8:30, but he would wait an hour and a half just to hang out with us, which thanks again. That was super
It was
awesome.
awesome, yeah.
And we would just go across the street to our local McDonald's. And I'm going to tell you right now, I hold that McDonald's in a very special place.
Yep.
Not because of people who work there, not even because of their food.
I like the person working there.
Okay, the person working there actually. that one dude who was there for a couple months, but then he left after a while. I don't know why, but he was super cool.
That's
Alright.
just because Sunny likes making friends.
Sonny-
That one girl, that she was like always there, and she always gave us the cookies.
Oh yeah,
She always was there, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe it's because we always went at the same time on a Monday, but it was a Monday night.
Good point.
We end up saying McDonald's Mondays. It's the move. Sometimes some of our other friends would come, sometimes they wouldn't, but I feel like
The
this
three
is
of us were always there.
yeah, this is kind of where we were the crew almost. Like
That was the original Sic trio, man.
yes, we are the original Sic trio, and what ended up happening, I don't even remember.
What?
Like, what happened? Why?
I'll tell you what happened, man.
All right, you remember?
This is what happened.
like-
And this is the thing I alluded to earlier, but since I'm so into podcasts anyway, like I love listening to them, and like it's just something fun to do on the way home or something like that. But there was a question in one that I wanted to raise to you guys, which was, was it best or worst way to die?
It was one of those two.
It was one of those two. I think that it was maybe the...
I think
Worst.
it was the worst.
Was it the worst?
Yes.
But whatever it was, we decided immediately, because we love talking and stuff, we expanded it to not just what was the best or the worst or we gave each other options, and we started actually explaining them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I remember our first three options were...
it was drowning, burning, and being buried alive.
Yes, those are the three.
Those are the three, and we beat this topic to death. We talked about it multiple weeks in a row for some reason.
We ended up talking it to not just other close friends, but acquaintances. Like, yo, how do you feel about blah blah? And most of them would give an answer within 10 to 20 seconds. Some even faster. Like, they wouldn't, like, I don't know what. Like, maybe it's just because we love explaining the way we think to each other and then changing our opinions.
Well, I think that stems from our disagreements too.
Oh, true. Yeah.
So
we all chose something different.
Yeah. Ross convinced me otherwise, but I think at first I said burning. I think I said burning.
Somebody said buried alive.
I don't think anyone said buried alive, man.
Oh wait, no. Someone said drowning, definitely.
I said drowning.
So I said drowning. What did you say again?
I said burning.
You did say burning. Maybe I said drowning then.
Okay, so here's the thing. I forgot what we chose, but just to kind of just to quickly recap how this is kind of where we started having podcasts without a mic, really.
Right, yeah.
This was basically a podcast without a mic. And it was, so burning, we were all like, shit, that would just be straight pain the whole time. And even before the pain hits you, the heat hits you. Mm-hmm. And me personally, I love the cold. I cannot handle heat for my life. But I still chose that because, wait, son, you said drowning? What was your reason for drowning again? Or did you just kind of say because maybe you thought it'd be quicker or maybe a little less painful? I don't know.
I just, when you're like...
It's probably less painful, I will say.
I don't know. I just felt drowning would just be a lot easier.
Okay, so one thing I could say to throw points that way is to say, well, yeah, you're not losing, like, your body isn't suffering, like, on a flesh scale, like, right? It's not being burned off.
Maybe your lungs are. I think the
exactly, but your lungs are on fire.
No matter which option it is, the psychological trauma is gonna be terrible. But maybe that one, maybe not as bad as buried alive, but that would maybe be the second one.
Yeah. So we obviously there's none of those are enjoyable ways to die, of course. But
put down in the comments which one do you.
Oh yeah, definitely hit us up. Why? Okay, maybe don't choose why.
You have to give us a thesis and an abstract.
Nah, just hit us up with what you think. But one of the things that I enlightened these guys on was, so being buried alive and being drowned. So if you read accounts of people who've survived near-death encounters, especially for drowning, is that you can't breathe in. So like, obviously you're drowning, your lungs need air, and you can't get air to them because there's water. But even worse than that is the knowing. So that's one of the things I read, and it scared the shit out of me when I read it. It's not only can you not breathe, if you try breathing, your brain will stop you. It's going to be like, no, that's water. So at one point, there's going to be a breaking point when your brain overrides your, okay, I can't say mind, but you know how our mind and brain are two different things. Your brain kind of overrides your other common sense. Like, you know you need to breathe in, but you know you won't. But your brain will override that, saying, your body's in so much pain, we need to open your mouth and take in whatever's there. And that's when you die.
Yeah, it's just the flooding of your lungs with water.
Yeah, it's
that
not.
Sounds like a horrible way to go.
It's not because you're not strong enough mentally or physically. It's just a science person would probably say this better, but you know that almost a reaction, that bodily reaction that you cannot control, parasympathetic something. There's some wording for it. It just takes over, and then you die. And
just as instinctual, yeah.
So a person who doesn't know this and might enjoy drowning, I don't know. But for me, just knowing that, I think I'm so afraid of drowning.
Mm-hmm. And these are the type of conversations we had at McDonald's.
Yeah, and then we started talking about being buried alive, and we thought it was even worse because it's the same exact thing.
Yeah.
But this time, you don't even die quickly because once you finally breathe in, gravel, dirt, whatever the fuck starts to feel like I don't even know.
We decided like burning is probably the best one because at least at that point maybe your nerve endings will burn away, and
it's pure pain, way more painful than the other two options, but it's straight physical pain. I feel like there's no like mental versus physical
the amount
disagreement.
of pain you'd be in. There's no time for your brain to like freak out. You'd just be like, oh fuck.
This
that
hurts.
hurt." Yeah.
You
All right, so yeah,
you
I didn't
tell
really
me
mean
that.
to go
You
off
can
on
touch.
that long tangent on exactly what our conversation was,
But
but
that's what got us into it, and from there,
every Monday we would go back and talk about something else.
talk about something. Yeah.
And it was just so random. It was like, yo, we have some fucking amazing conversations. Not just because one of us or the three of us have original content. It's because, like, for me, I love rationalizing things. And when other people say things that are rational, maybe I get jealous. So that's why I play devil's advocate. Like, hey, you're wrong. Okay. And I don't know, just Sunny, especially, your look on life is so different from mine. Like, I feel like Chris looks at life similar to me, even though our beliefs are different and our alignments and whatever are different. But I don't know. I would love to see from Sonny's eyes one day,
Me too.
or like how he thinks.
I'd rather be like Sunny, honestly. It would make things like way happier.
It's just scary. Scary.
Wait! Don't you remember he fought a doll when he was 6 years old?
He fought a lot of things when he was 6 years old.
I don't think you guys want to see things through my eyes.
Okay, maybe not. Maybe be careful what you wish for is
Okay, that's
in
fair.
effect here, but
But definitely, like, that's how I felt about our conversations. It was because we were so, I don't know, different, but also compatible.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, Eras and I, we can rationalize all day long, and we can debate all day long.
Oh,
but-
by the way, it doesn't mean we'll be right. Like, we'll say some stupid ass shit. Like,
Yeah.
actually, in one of our previous
a lot of times
episodes,
we probably aren't right.
yeah, in a previous episode, I just realized. Well, I didn't realize. Omnipotent, doesn't that mean you can do anything? And omniscient means you know everything.
Oh, really? I don't
Okay,
know.
you know what? I could still be wrong, but we say omnipotent. So now I'm worried that we use a word wrong the whole time.
Well, it's one of those omnis.
Yeah, it's one of those omni
One
things,
of
and I
those
feel like we
omnis.
fucked it up. But yeah, so we're not always right, but we love trying.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
We give the old call it a try. And that's kind of how our conversations really developed.
Yeah, and then we always just kept talking, but we always kept saying to ourselves at the McDonald's, we're like, hey, we definitely gotta record this. Someone's gotta record this.
Honestly, Sonny, I think that was you.
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
You were like, yo, guys, we could totally just record these and put them up.
It's because we talked about podcasts before, and you know, like maybe like what we like to listen to or something like that. And then Sonny's like, you know what, we should just do it ourselves, and there's no reason we shouldn't. And so we bought a mic.
Actually,
That was actually our kind of like, I think when we're talking about like all this podcast stuff, we're like, oh yeah, we should definitely do this. But I feel like we're kind of like a little too scared to do it. But I
For a
think
while
when
there, we were.
I think our first step like into that kind of the podcast realm was when we bought, yeah, like Chris said, we bought our first mic.
so about the first mic incident, we bought 3 mics, one for each of us.
$20. by the
Yeah,
way.
$20 mics for each of us. Now we're pretty stupid, so we're like, wait a minute, they're USB mics. We have to connect it to a computer or something. So we need a splitter. So we got one of those USB splitter things, and we plugged it into my computer. And I'm like, all right, let's start recording. We start recording, and we're too stupid to realize, wait a minute. One of the most basic things is like, if there are multiple mics and they pick up everything. By the way, the quality was pretty trash. No lie. It ended up being like, I don't know.
There was like an echo effect.
Yeah, because it was like multiple stuff. So we didn't have a mixer or whatever, or whatever you need. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. My ignorance in that regard is still existent. I still have no idea how to fix that.
Yeah, I mean, we tried for probably a good like month
What?
to fix it, right?
Okay, so it was a month in real time, but like how many actual minutes? I feel like I didn't think about it more than like
Oh,
a
no,
couple
we
hours.
We spent like hours. On
hours.
that.
Yeah,
We
so
spent
I'd say
on that.
hours.
Like so many times. I mean, when we were first getting this podcast off the ground, or at least trying to, we
We would
were always like-
Google our questions and hope the first link answered it for us. Honestly.
it was such a letdown too, because all we wanted to do was just talk and record, and you know, instead of that, we spent the first like month of this just you know, trying to figure out the technical difficulties, which we never actually did. We ended up returning all 3 of the mics to Amazon, and you know, we waited around for the next Black Friday sale to come around, which thankfully was pretty close by.
Mm-hmm.
And we bought our big black Yeti.
Yep.
The thick boy.
Have not looked back. It's been probably like the best purchase I've made in a long time.
Oh yeah. So we pitched in for this mic we're using. Blue Yeti, shout out.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Sponsorship, please.
Sponsor us. Yep. And it serves our needs. It covers our ignorant bases. So because there's only one mic, so we don't have to deal with other shit.
And what's more, it's a USB mic, so it's really convenient, and we just use like free audio recording software. I mean, the process itself is really simple, really like expedited now.
Yeah, we don't really have to worry about a lot of things. It's just actually the only thing we worry about and we take care of is the mic.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to make sure this is
This thing's our baby.
In our horribly beaten up box.
Yeah, the box is beaten up, and that's my fault. But yeah.
You know what? It's gonna happen anyway. I mean, we've been doing this for a while now, like a few months.
A few months, really?
Yeah, I mean, we've been doing this for a while.
That's only been a month.
No, because if you think of it, like we bought this November, right? It's almost April.
Okay, yeah, but like when did we actually start our first recording, and then when it kicked off? I feel like it's only been like a month.
Oh, it's been more than that, right? I mean, even our first upload date on Castbox must be at least a little while ago.
Okay, 5 or 6 weeks maybe?
I don't know. I mean, we can look it up, I guess.
Yeah, well, this mic really took it off. Yeah, it wasn't just fear. It also was seriousness. Like, at first, I'm going to be absolutely honest with you guys, audience and you, Sonny and Chris. I wasn't too serious about it. Mm-hmm. I loved the conversation for the conversation's sake.
Exactly, yeah.
And I didn't really see the need for recording, so we kind of came to some sort of consensus that, we might record this, but never upload it,
Right.
Right? It wasn't like, for real. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, we get this mic, we start recording, it sounds amazing. Everyone hates their own voice, but this mic makes me sound good. So
sexual.
I would hit myself. No.
That's gotta bring something in there.
But yeah, no. It served our needs, and it kind of galvanized us. I don't know if that's the right word. It kind of rejuvenated our interest, and suddenly we start recording. Mm-hmm. And I think this would be a great time, actually, to throw some shout outs.
Oh yeah.
So who kind of, because we got to thank a lot of people for where we are now.
We've just received a lot of love, a lot of support, a lot of critiques, a lot of constructive criticism.
Yeah. So generally, our entire friend group, my brothers and my sister, also because they listen to some of the stuff I send them. It's like, hey, how does this sound? What do you feel? Give me some feedback. And man, they shredded me. Man, you sound like an idiot. But that helped me. It helped me, like, kind of clean up my act a little bit. Mm-hmm. And Chris, I know you're showing some of your siblings, and like they showed some interest, showed some friends. Some people liked it. Some friends were just like, yeah, it's good. Because they liked it, but at the same time, I wanted to get a more holistic experience. Mm-hmm. So we asked a lot of people, and they were really helpful. Yeah. And there are some more specific shout outs.
Yeah.
She is one. She was on our podcast before, and she really helped us, gave good suggestions, was really a good voice of reason for us, where we were just 3 guys, and our perspectives are limited, right? And there was a lot of self-bias. Yeah. And so she really shot some holes in there and was like, what if this, what if that? Actually, you guys sound like this. And she critiqued us pretty much. Mm-hmm. And obviously we're not going to change everything just because of what somebody else says, but she really helped us kind of see some of the things that we were doing wrong, and she really helps out with things we were doing right.
Yeah.
So that really helped us. Another one, Riza. If you all seen the art, that's our cover photo, whatever. It's superbly accurate.
Yeah.
That's us 3.
She pretty much got the caricatures on point.
Not just that, but like there's a jacket I just love to wear, and she got that in there, and I was like super psyched about that. I don't know why, but she got it all.
She nailed it. She nailed Sonny's like facial hair thing going
on. She gave him a little uwu mouth, like
she got
God dang, like that's so
the
like
uwu mouth is so perfect.
Like it's like kind of like a shout out to Sonny's, like he likes games, anime, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It just I like right then I just like really wanted to thank her from the bottom of my heart, and so that's why we're doing these shout outs real quick, because it's a long time coming. We owe it to them, and I feel like this is a good time. Anyone else? Paul.
Yeah, Paul.
Paul's a big one. All right, so that's probably our third in our top 3 for now.
Yeah, he's always been there for us.
Like that sounds generic, but that is so true.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you could put it into words, that's exactly how you would put it. because he listens to every episode.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Riza too for doing that. Like she also listens to every episode, and we just really appreciate her doing that. But Paul definitely gives us the feedback on every episode he listens to, and he makes suggestions here and there. He never minds how long we spend on something.
He's always willing to sacrifice to just hang out and kind of listen to us. And another word I'd throw in there is involvement. Like, we're just trying to think of an idea. He's like, all right, what about that? Like, he's just always kind of helping us out.
He's a good person to just bounce ideas off of, like like the backboard. You know what I'm
He's
saying?
like, hey, yo, Paul, what do you think about this? And he'll be all ears and open minded, and he'll tell us his opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Probably another person we need to include definitely is Iraz's older brother, Awesome.
Oh yeah.
He's the homie.
I don't know, like me and Sunny like have never really talked to him, but thankfully, obviously, Iraz is the one that facilitates that. But he gives us all kinds of feedback.
Oh, and it's detailed feedback. He will literally say, "What?" Like sometimes he will like not back down, and which I love about him. When he asks, "What's your podcast about?" I'm like, well, it's about like he doesn't like bullshit answers. He's like, "Yo, just." You need to be able to answer that, or you can't have a podcast, right?
He got us off our asses to make a pilot.
Oh yeah,
which we'll be posting soon.
Oh yeah, yeah. So a pilot, like that's what everyone needs. Also, this origin story. He was the first one to say, "Wait, you guys are putting up episodes and stuff. Who are you? Why should people listen to you? Like, who, what, when, where, why?
Yeah,
all of that. He kind of gave us that, but also even on technical things, like he would listen to an entire episode. My brother works a 9-to-5 job, so and he says it's a desk job. He has a lot of hours on his hand to like fuck around. Don't tell anyone. He plays Civ at work, but he listens to our podcast at work, and he's like, you know what, this was great. However, there was one time when you cursed or something, and it just didn't fit. It sounded like you edited it or something. It's like,
right.
Yeah, so yeah, we don't send him like, obviously he has our Castbox links and everything, but I send him like just raw audio. It's like, hey, how do you feel about this? And sometimes when we stray off topic, he's like, you guys need to stick to something, some idea. I don't know. He's just super honest about it. And yeah, shout out to him. I totally forgot my older brother.
Yeah, no, he's a big one.
Hopefully he doesn't listen to this part, but I know he will. Fuck me. Oh, but
I love it.
By the way, and he's so open-minded. Like, no matter how sexual or dirty jokes we get, or like,
it's always me. I'm sorry.
No, well, yo, we feel it. So we're all part of it.
Yeah.
We're all guilty.
Someone's got to break that that border.
Yeah. So sometimes our friends. I mean, everyone's different, and we understand that. We have marked our content as explicit, but some people are more or less okay with it. My brother's just okay with all of it. He's like, all right, yeah, yo, give me more. Just like, this is hilarious. So he's open-minded, but at the same time he knows how to be objective. So yeah, definitely good shout outs.
Yeah, so Riza, Chi, Paul, awesome. Thank you guys very much for all your input, all your support, and
shout out to the fans out there too.
Shout out to the fans, man.
Oh yeah, like definitely, like like the views and like subscribers and everything, that really helps us,
It warms my heart seeing those numbers go up.
Well,
at this point, at the time of recording, it's probably like only our friend group listening. But you know what?
Oh yeah, that's true. Like
that's totally fine. Like,
I'm okay with that. But what also, like,
if they get a kick out of it, I do too.
that's what it's all about. Like, what's the purpose? What's one of the purposes? And one of my purposes, I want to show my family. I want to show my friends something. Like, hey, look at this meme, or look at. Now we have a podcast. We created this. Hey, yo, listen to the episode. It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have to beg them or anything, because if we're close, they know it's funny and they know it's going to be good, and they listen to it. That's what matters to me. But obviously numbers and everything are good and all that, but comments too. Like, just a friend putting a comment saying, yo, interesting shit. I thought that, like, it makes me feel good. But also feedback-wise, like, we read the comments. We will, if not always respond, we'll try to, because we're small, and so every comment will be given full attention for now, at least. but definitely, like, we would love to hear what you guys have to say about us. And
yeah, I want to ask you, like, what does the podcast mean to you guys? Or like,
Oh,
what does it mean to you?
That's a really great question. I'm gonna think about it for a second.
So what the podcast like means to me, at first it was just a crazy idea, or these guys don't think it's crazy, but I thought it was crazy. But
I thought it was kind of.
Okay, I thought it
was kind of crazy too.
Yeah, no, definitely. So if I say it's not crazy, I'm just like, it's not like bad crazy.
Yeah, it's not bad crazy.
It's just out of left field. I mean,
it's out of my comfort zone, definitely.
Yeah.
It's way out of my comfort zone, and it took me a while to get warm to the idea. So,
yeah, but go on.
Yeah, but what's it talking about again?
No, you said it was like a crazy idea. And
then... Yeah.
So we're talking about, what does a podcast mean to you?
Yeah. It's like, like I said, it was a crazy idea. At first, like, I was, thinking about the future. Like, if we ever just did get, like, blown up and we got these sponsorships and all that stuff, I was thinking about, man, how much money am I gonna make? But then as every time we get together, every time we talk and we meet our guests and we just experience these different like views on these questions, these random ass questions we find, and I just having more and more fun, and I'm just thinking like you guys are showing your families and our friend group is seeing this and laughing at our content. It just makes me happy, happy doing this. It's something I just actually really love doing now, just talking with you guys, talking with our guests, and I just hope to this really does blow up, because I want you guys to experience it. I want other people out there in like maybe different country or something to listen to our voice and definitely get our views out there. And
hopefully, no, I feel you, Sonny. I guess it all comes down to experience. Because are you ready, Chris, with your answer? 'Cause I know my answer now.
How about you go and I'll go?
All right. It all comes down to experience. So, on the podcast, we talk about stuff in a format that we've already done before. I enjoy talking about something, arguing, learning new things. Sometimes having a question thrown at me that I don't know the answer to, but using my rationality and stuff, I try thinking of some sort of answer that might fit. It might be wrong. It's usually wrong, but that's okay. Playing games. We're thinking of having like a tabletop series here where we play games, the ones that are usually pure auditory, and then having that on the podcast. Me and Chris get super political sometimes, and we want to throw that in there too. It's just the experience I already have. I love playing games. I love talking to you guys. Love just hanging out with our friend group or anybody else really. Mm-hmm. So we want to bring them in here and share that with you guys. That's what it comes down to. So for me, just experience. For me, things I already enjoy, and with you guys who are different, and we bring in other guests, bring me a little more out of my comfort zone and just showing me something. So like, I'm going to relate it back to your Sonny. For other people, and you mentioned other countries, yes, people might enjoy this, and I really hope they do, because this could be something that just brightens their day. Because at the end of the day, for me, it's, we have some serious topics, but I love it I love the comedy. Mm-hmm. I love laughing with you guys, and it's just, sometimes just listening back to it before we upload it, I don't know, man. I'm just laughing my ass off in my car alone.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, because there's no one to judge. I'm laughing my ass off. But that's what it is for me. The experience and sharing it.
There's definitely some similarities for me between you guys, and that's probably to be expected, yeah. But for me, there's a couple of things. It's like a creative outlet for discussion when we do get political, or when we're doing any kind of world building, or we're getting into some like philosophical or fantasy type thing. But it's also, and I've mentioned this before, it's just another way for me to see you guys, to hang out with my friends, man. Like, I don't really hang out on campus anymore since I got my job. And the podcast has just been a really great way for me to like stay connected with you guys and like keep those conversations we started at McDonald's going. And it's just, I don't know, it's just like a really great way for me to like hang out with everybody. And that's what I love, especially since we have the guests on, and we see all these people. We get to talk for like a good 2 hours sometimes. So it's just a lot of fun for me to do that. So it's just like, it's the creative process where, you have like a finished product that you can be proud of.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But it's also like so much fun along the way. Mm-hmm. And that's what the podcast is to me. It's just a way to have fun, see you guys, just like create something. And that's what I love to do. I love just like creating shit and hanging out with my friends.
I feel like that term really sums it up, really, a creative process. That entire thing is what it is for me. the product at the end is actually extra. Like, I'm
Yeah,
glad.
it's like a byproduct of a good time.
Yeah, like I don't want to work hard to talk about something that maybe we're not enthusiastic about,
Yeah.
and then just have content throw out there. Like, I this is fun. It's amazing. It's a great experience.
It's like some people are movie buffs. We just talk to each other.
Yeah.
And we're like, you know what? Let's archive this because that was funny. I want to go back to that conversation later. And that's what it's about.
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't remember a lot of the stuff we said before,
Yeah.
so we forget to talk about it. But that's okay because we always have something to talk about.
Yeah.
Like, me and Chris would argue over the color of something.
We probably would, yeah.
Yeah, it's just how it is. And Sonny's there to stop us from throwing hands.
Yeah.
Sonny's the one that throws hands at other things. He fights ghosts and shit.
There's definitely some unreleased stuff that you guys don't hear about that is just hilarious of me just going ham on different things.
Yeah, so actually that's kind of moving forward, that's one of my goals really, is like sometimes I hear the stories or hear some of the ideas you guys have and I'm like, yo, hold up, let's put this on the podcast.
Yeah.
Right? Like right now I can say this. There are obviously some ideas I have with certain friends or certain people like, hey, maybe we should talk about this. Maybe for Sonny, I have an entire list of things that I need to hear his opinion about.
Yeah.
Because he's so like, I don't know. Sonny has some very interesting ideas about certain things.
I feel like Sonny, honestly, is like, if we were an arch, Sonny would be the keystone piece. Because he's the one that keeps it together. And he's the one that, like, keeps it there, man. Like, that's, like, Sonny, that's always kind of been, like, I don't know. He's, like, the one that suggested we get this thing started. And he's the one that's enthusiastic about it. He pushes us, like, beyond our boundaries. And he does it in such a hilarious fashion. He's always got the best
actually,
stories.
sometimes everybody else in the world has to push him because he's lazy as shit and won't record with us until we say, like, hey, man, we have a guest. Come on, record.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. But,
So,
he's always enthusiastic, though.
It's a joint effort, is what it is. So, not to downplay my own importance, I'm not doing any of that. But I do love being the devil's advocate of the group, not just the group, but also of this podcast.
Yeah.
The arguer, the reasoner. Obviously, that comes with its own set of issues. I talk a fuck ton, like, and I ramble, right? But I feel like, of course, it's important to have someone to be the devil's advocate.
You've got to have someone to challenge ideas because that's how conversations start.
Yeah, so as I'm subjective. I have my own opinions, but I love the option to go objective and tear shit down, because then that way we have a healthy conversation. Obviously, we don't know personal attacks, but sometimes there are personal attacks. So, Chris, you're very unique too in this sense because not only are you a great listener, like a great listener, you also take it in and then you're like, you know what? If I want to argue about it, if I have my opinions about it, I'm not afraid to say it. It's probably because we're close, we're friends, whatever. And you have a slew of information, a wealth of information to draw from. You know, your background is different, your college career is different. Sometimes some of the things you're say or like, yo, I read this art. Like, I don't know. It's just you always come with something different. Pirates. You fucking came to me and started talking about pirates.
Pirate economics, man.
Yeah, not just pirates in general, like, oh, they're cool, like guns and shit. No, like pirate economics and their government system and how they operate. And I was like, what the fuck?
You know,
but it was so amazing to hear.
Yeah, one of these episodes, I want to get into, like, all those ideas come from the econ department at our college, right? And there's one guy in particular who really spearheads that kind of, like, really out there research in different econ stuff. So his name's Peter Leeson. He does, like, economics. He has, like, a book called, like, What the Fuck? Economics of the Strange or something like that. And it's all about, like, things that you might think of as irrational, like maybe human sacrifice, like back in old civilizations.
But he puts it into, like, some sort of economic lens.
Yeah, well, if you apply economic logic, which is really, if you boil it down, it's just the study of people's responses to their incentives and their constraints.
All right.
If you had to boil it down to something, that's what it is. And he's just really, really good at it. Really good at applying it to just really bizarre kind of things. So,
like, and I disagree with some of Chris's sources all the time, really.
Yeah.
And I do it not just for myself, but also because I do feel like I am the devil's advocate.
That's kind of Eras's role in this.
Yeah.
He just likes to give me a hard time.
Yeah, so, like, that's how I feel. And, like, again, whether I disagree or agree or whatever about Chris's sources, he has He brings a lot to the table for me to argue about. And then now we get to Sunny, and I don't know, he is our definitely comedic dude. He has more anime knowledge than any of you fucking weeaboos.
Oh, I don't know about that
Okay,
one.
all right, I'm playing. But no,
dude, you have to give that to Paul.
oh my god, that's Paul. All right, fine. Well, definitely. I mean, he's definitely recommending some anime.
Ex-weeaboo.
Okay, ex-weeaboos. And I don't know. Sometimes we just bust out in laughter because some of the like crazy, sometimes stupid, sometimes just unexpected things that come out of this guy. Mm-hmm. So I definitely feel like arch could be a good word. I don't know, but we are all we're the three legs of that one tripod.
Yeah, we're like a three-legged camel.
It's because we do a lot of humping.
So me, you guys, Chris and Aras are like the front legs. I'm the one middle leg in the back.
It's a middle leg.
It's because the two of us need each other to have a support. But Sunny, he just does it on his own. That's why. Sunny is strong enough to support himself and us. And we were like rely on each other. I think that's what he's trying to say. This also the humps.
This is the unexpected shit I'm talking about. But yeah, no, I feel like we all play a super crucial role in this. Like, and I wouldn't have rather done this with anyone, like other people. Like there are some really close friends that would love to be part of this podcast, but usually it boils down to them being guests, and I love their opinions. I'm super, super glad that this is something we're doing, and we honestly really hope everybody else, you guys, you enjoy this. Mm-hmm. Right? And obviously feedback is always welcome, because then
good or bad.
Good or bad. Yeah, no, definitely. Hit us with a criticism. Say, you're gay. It's fine. it's whatever.
Yeah. We enjoy the feedback too.
Yeah. I mean, one of our friends just commented and just threw a bunch of clown faces, and I'm like, huh?
Oh yeah, that was Jin.
Yeah.
We really need to get him on here.
Yeah, dude, we need to get him on here. Mm-hmm. And again, this isn't just friends. We're only inviting friends first, just simply because we know them. So yeah, definitely hit us up. But moving forward, like now we're talking about where we were, how we got here, but moving forward, feedback, we're gonna take it in. Definitely, we're definitely gonna incorporate that feedback into what we do for the future. In fact, this episode, the sickest origin story ever, was actually kind of prodded is a better word, by my older brother, Razme's older sister. They were like, all right, this is cool, but like they need an episode about who they are.
Yeah.
They need something that people can listen to and like, okay, so this is what it's about. So yeah, not just this, but also pilot, stuff like that.
So yeah, like we said, moving forward, we're hoping to get more of our friends on, having more just fun conversations with Sunny. And we'd really love to do some episodes where me and Araj just get into the arguments, hash out our ideas with each other.
Oh yeah, no, I like we can argue for a long time, and I definitely want to do that.
Yeah, we definitely have to. So yeah, it's just a lot of fun.
Already, like when we're talking about like powers or whatever, all topics,
you could probably feel that there's some level of, I don't know if tension's the right word, but there's some level of like, it's like when anime characters like have laser beam eyes locking on each other,
and then one of them pushes his glasses up and he goes,
there's like a level of intensity there.
No, definitely. I would love to go head to head with you. Also, tabletop series, like games. We're gonna be bringing more people to play some games. I don't know, like literally anything's game.
Anything's fair game.
That's the word. Okay, see, I know I was saying something wrong.
Anything's fair game.
Anything's fair game, and we would love to hear what you guys want to hear from us.
Yeah. But yeah, immediate future, looking forward to playing some games, having some arguments, having some fun conversations, goofing around.
Oh yeah, it always comes down to that. Like, we're gonna have fun.
Yeah,
we're gonna have fun, and we hope you guys enjoy that.
Bring you along for the ride.
Definitely. All right, well, we'll be signing off then.
Hey, it's your boy Sunny. I'm
Araz.
I'm Chris.
And we are the Sic Podcast. By the way, Sic is actually the abbreviation, or what the fuck, whatever. It's
Sunny or Chris.
It's literally SIC.
It's SIC.
It's not.
Maybe we should have mentioned that earlier, but there you go.
Yeah, it's not that hard. Peace out, guys. See you next time.
Peace.